seeing Avatar Fire and Ash. I'm pretty excited for this one. I'm not in my studio again because I actually did a double feature tonight. I just saw Five Nights at Freddy's, so that review will be out by the time this comes out. But I'm going in, open mind. I'm going to take a big crap before I watch this. And yeah, let's see. Oh, guys, I got swamp ass after watching this. Holy fucking shit, that movie was long as hell. I just got done watching Avatar Fire and Ash, and it's just too long. It's too long. It was a good movie. Like, it was very good. Don't get me wrong. It was a very good movie. But it was just way too long. It should have been shorter. I would have loved it a tad more. So, pretty good.
Alrighty, guys, so you see that the Christmas stuff mostly is taken down. That's why my whole area here doesn't have anything up. I thought about putting my Galactus popcorn bucket in this shot. What do you guys think? I think it's too big. It's literally way too fucking big. And then yeah, I got some Funko Pops here, so oh yeah, it's alright. I gotta figure out what the hell I'm gonna put here though. So just got done watching Avatar Fire and Ash, and just a little bit of history with this, my feelings towards these movies. I really wasn't a huge fan of the first one. I never understood why each and every single one of these movies, as of the time of this recording, Avatar Fire and Ash has already hit $1 billion. Each and every single one of these movies has hit $1 billion. And I don't understand it. $1 billion is a fuck ton of movie for, fuck ton of money for a movie. That is huge. Most movies don't even make it to $500,000. Most of the time. Sorry, more than a half. 5 million, 500 million. And it's just, the thing is, I just don't understand. I think these movies are fine. I think the visuals are groundbreaking, but I was never into these movies. Second one, not awful. I think it was a huge improvement over the first. I think it was basically the same movie, but done better. You can definitely see the 20-year gap because the visual effects are even better. And I will admit, the first one was like way ahead of its time. It was groundbreaking. The visuals were stunning. It was just a cool concept and movie overall. I don't know if James Cameron at the time had a whole plan to make his old Avatar universe with the first one, but when the second one came out, I was pretty happy with it. I didn't mind it. I thought it was good. So going into this one, and I know this might be everyone's least favorite Avatar movie because I'm seeing that this is like their last favorite. I think this is actually my favorite. And I don't think it's recency bias because I literally watched Avatar The Way of Water a day before I watched this. And I don't know, guys. I just think this is my favorite. I think it was really well done for an Avatar movie. I think the setting, the fire tribe was really well done. Is it the best fucking movie out of movies I've seen this year? No, but it was just mid. Like I said, all my opinions of this franchise, they're all mid to me. They're not my type of movie. But I felt myself buying into the story a little more here in this movie. I thought it was a little more easier to follow, even though this movie felt like 4 hours long. I mean, I love long movies, don't get me wrong, but there are movies out there that I feel like have so much filler, so much stuff that just doesn't really need to be there. Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, they're just extremely long, and there's movies out there that I love that are long, and that don't even feel like that. Avengers Endgame, Zack Snyder's Justice League, 300, I think 300 was pretty long, or was that a different one? I could be wrong. Those movies didn't feel long at all. Avengers Endgame fucking flew by for me. I was so sucked in the story. Here, I felt the runtime so many times. I remember I know this is the longest Avatar too. This is damn near 3 hours and 30 minutes, and it just did not need to be that long. It's all over the place sometimes. And there was a scene in here where this big action set pieces. I'll get back to the action because the action I think is at its best as well in here. And I thought it was the end of the movie, like it was the final battle. And I'm like, okay, so this is pretty cool. All right, credits roll in 5 minutes. Great. Nope. Another fucking hour and a half later, the movie ended. I shit you not. I said, oh my god. And I knew this movie was going to be long. I had to take a shit and a piss before the movie even started. And I told myself in the theater, I'm sitting back because they have the recliners in the nice theater. I went to go see this shit in 4K. Now, this is a movie I'm actually happy that I paid $15 for because I still got my money's worth with Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Not so much because I still paid $15 for a ticket. Damn near $20. I paid $30 just for the movie. No snacks included, no drinks, no nothing. That is absolutely ridiculous. I saw it in a nicer theater, so maybe that's why, but I don't know. I just thought this movie was very long. It was so overdone to the point where towards the end I could just feel the runtime and I was kind of just like pooped out. You know, it's a easier story to follow. I feel like I think what they do with Spider's character in here is pretty cool. It's a weird choice. It doesn't really make any sense, but you just kind of accept it, honestly. As the movie goes on, I think Jake Sully's always a good character to follow in here. I think the visuals, again, are just amazing. That's something that this franchise will always have done right, is just the visual style. The visual style in here, guys, gorgeous cinematography. I love the world of Pandora. I love exploring it. I think Miles Courage is at his best in here. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I think he's always been a badass character. I didn't like him that much in the first movie, but him as an Avatar is one of the most badass things. I don't know why. I also like the Fire Tribe. They kind of come out of nowhere. I wish we explored a little more about why they came, because they just came to attack. And then, yeah, it's just kind of weird. I think the lady who played I'm not gonna pronounce any of their names right. So, but the chick with the big antennas with the red on it, I think the actress who did her did a very good job. I think there are some action set pieces in here that are fucking awesome, dude. Like the jailbreak scene where they're breaking Jake Sully out of jail or whatever. They have like this jail cell for him. I think those are really cool scenes. There's like this crane scene. You get really cool scenes where it's like a warfare and there's like banshees or whatever they call them going through the city and blowing shit up. It's pretty cool. And I think the final battle for this was really creative and the best. And I think the highest stakes are in this movie. I think there are a lot of characters that die in here. I think it was necessary for the plot. I think it was pretty convenient for the time, and I think, you know, everybody had their time to shine. You still get the Water Tribe in here, which I think is really cool. Yeah, I actually felt more weight with the deaths in here than I did in the second one. Don't get me wrong, the Jake Sully's kid dying in the second was really, really heartbreaking, but I felt like it was more developed here. So the characters that die in here, I feel like were necessary, and you actually get to have time to sit with the characters, I feel like, and how it affected them in a way, and I think that was really cool. I think the final battle was really creative with the rocks flying around and they're kind of fighting on top of the fire. I thought that was so cool. I thought that was super, super awesome. But the thing is, a little bit with my negatives, is the dialogue. I think the dialogue is the worst out of this franchise. Oh my god. Oh, it's like Gen Alpha fucking sprinkled some of its slang all over this. You hear bro like every other sentence. That got annoying. Oh my god. Um, I watched 3C Films review on it, and he mentioned that too. And I didn't think he was going to be that bad, but oh boy, was I in for something, because it's literally, yeah, it was pretty annoying as well. I get what he was saying. And it's not the adult characters saying it, it's the teenagers, and I get they're like teens, so bro is usually a thing that they refer to, but it is in every sentence. And there's one sentence. It's one sentence, and they say it like 3 times in one sentence. I shit you not. It's kind of annoying and takes away from the scene. I think the pacing of this movie is a little slow as well. Although I think it's fine overall. I don't know. The movie's just way too long. I think that is its main thing. I think this movie could have been what, 2.5 hours at best, and you still would have had the same story. Yeah, I just felt like it was kind of all over the place. I didn't mind it. I thought it was good. I think it's the best out of this franchise. It's just my main issue with these movies is not just with the third, but all of these movies as a whole, is if you really think about it and you watch every single one of these movies, yeah, is there new stuff that comes to the story? Is there new obstacles for our characters to go around? Absolutely. There's new storylines and stuff like that. But if you watch these and sit down, I can't help to think that every single one of these movies are the same movie. All of them. I sit down, I watch it, and I can't help but to think this was in the last movie. They don't really bring anything new necessarily to the table. It's just action, Avatar. They don't really have anything new to the story. And I feel like bringing in a new tribe could be interesting to a degree, but I feel like it was done and it was kind of rushed in here. And just in general, I just think it's not something that is just brought in. I feel like it's more of an excuse to bring audiences to the screen. I don't feel like it's something that, because they're just running out of ideas, so they're like, okay, let's make an excuse so it's not the same movie. But it really is the same movie. You guys know what I'm getting at, because I don't know, it's kind of confusing to explain. But yeah, every time I watch these movies, even though they got better and better as they went on, it's the same movie. This is literally the same movie as Avatar: The Way of Water, in my opinion. It felt like I was watching the same exact fucking movie. It was the same exact length. It was just, I don't know. All these just sound the same. Even though they have different colors, they're just the same concept at heart. And that gets boring. And if we're gonna get 5 of these fucking things, and the third one's already getting repetitive, and we already did bring up about a ton of stuff to the story, but it still feels repetitive, that's an issue. Especially if the movies are making billions and billions of dollars. Like, it's insane to me. I know there are people who love these movies, and as a whole trilogy, I think they're fine. They're just not my go-to. If I'm like watching a movie marathon, my first option isn't gonna be fucking Avatar. It's really not. I understand a little bit of why these movies make money. I mean, they have to. These movies are expensive as all hell to make, and I can tell James Cameron is very passionate in his writing and his storytelling, and it's just, I don't know. His other work is so much better than this. I'd rather go and watch Terminator 2 Judgment Day, because that movie was long. That was like 2 hours and 30 minutes, and it told so much story. It's just, I wish he could do that with these movies, because they're just so fucking long, and it takes away actually, because I feel like they could tell the whole story with just a little less slow pacing. So I get he wants to build a world, he wants to, have more character development, but that's what the sequels are for. That's what you should explore. Maybe have a cliffhanger ending or something. Make people interested. You know what I mean? It's just something that's an issue with these movies, and that's why they're not my go-to thing. Anyway, if I were a fan of these movies, I would give this a golden TV, but they're just not my type of movie. But for what it was and for what it's worth, it was good. It was fine. I felt like I got my money's worth, $15, because the movie was just so long and I was just sitting there at the movie at that point. So in that case, I'm gonna give it a bronze TV. I don't think this movie's awful. Like I said, a little controversial. I think this is probably my favorite out of the franchise. So yeah, I think the visuals are great, and I think everything is cool. It's just there are issues. There are issues, and there is with every single one of these, and they really need to fix it. So anyway, guys, that's my review for Avatar: Fire and Ash. Hopefully, I won't do spoilers. I didn't do spoilers in here, and hopefully I'll see you guys on the next one. Boy, I can't talk in this review. I'm still getting over a cold. Give me a break. Take care, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.